Yo, what is up guys, MrPantaloons here with the new Opera Omnia event banner. So we have the Faris event and her banner right here. We got Faris, Penelo and Yang. Now, how good is this banner? What is the value of this banner? Let's find out. So obviously we have Faris 35 CP, and then we have Penelo 15 CP, Yang 15 CP, and of course Faris 15 CP. We can see the percentages here. Basically what we've been used to by now. So we got the 35 CP there with the 12% guaranteed rate, and then the 15 CP for each characters. Now in terms of value, you obviously want to go mainly for the 35 CP, but if we look around now, this banner, we've already talked about this one. There is no 35 CP in this one, so because of that banner is out. But then we still have this one right here. We still have a few days left on it, so you have a 35 CP on this one as well. And I think in terms of 35 CP, this one is better. I kind of like Prish better than Faris, but we can talk more about this this banner right here. Of course, we did talk about Prish on the other video, so you can check that one out if you're interested in Prish. But for now, do note that probably Prish is better, but obviously let's talk about this banner right here and Faris, obviously. So let's go ahead and go to Faris, or I guess we could talk about the 15 CP as well. I think in terms of 15 CP, or we should talk about the event actually. Now I did play the event quite a bit. I do use my TDS 35 CP and I'm doing fairly well. I believe I'm almost 1 million points. I've been slacking a bit, which is fine. This event is interesting, but it's not that hard, to be honest. So if you have any kind of 35 CP weapon, is doable, and you don't really need the characters in here, especially Penelo. I don't think I've seen any Penelos, so Penelo, she's probably not that useful. Yang is interesting in this event because he can do some AoE damage, which is kind of useful in here, to be honest. And then Faris, of course, she's gonna be good because she's got the 35 CP. But anyway, let's see what we got here. So let's start up with Faris. So Faris, I guess we know that she is a blue crystal. She is a dagger user. We can see her command abilities. She's got a water wall for hit brave attack and grants medium debuff, success rate up for 3 turns, and then we have the cannon fire. Actually, we're on Japan. Is this? I guess global is better because we see the mastery here as well, which is interesting. So it gets mastery with 2 uses. So she is similar with Bards, for instance. He's got the same mechanic with the mastery here. So she does need to get a bit of a ramp up, and she can get a max of 6 uses. Actually, does she get more? But we need to talk about her her level 60. Thing is, she is getting her level 60, but we are getting ahead of ourselves. So water wall for hit melee brave attack, 3 turns enfeeblement, which is the debuff success rate, medium debuff success rate. It's around is it 20%? I believe it's 20%. And then mastery with 2 uses, and we got the mastery one right here. It is a potent for hit melee brave attack, and it does have a water element to it, and 3 turns enfeeblement up, and the condition is after 2 uses. And then her second skill, cannon fire, range brave attack, target low chance poison, attack down, defense down for 3 turns, mastery with 2 uses. And then she gets, what does she get? She gets an increased chance on her poison, attack down and defense down for 3 turns. So she does has some water elements. She's got a bunch of brave attack, melee brave attack, range brave attack. So she's pretty much a brave attacker. She has some debuffs. She has poison, attack down, defense down. She's got the debuff success rate, which is the enfeeblement. And she does have the mastery component. You need to master her skills. She can get up to 6 uses out of those 2. So she has some stuff in there. So what about her passive abilities? Let's check this out. So her level 50, that's the leader's command, slightly raise initial bravery and max bravery of all allies when HP is under 50%. Not that great. You ideally don't want to get under 50% to begin with, so I don't like her level 50. You can see her gear here. You can see that her Her armor here, initial bravery, max bravery, not the best, but it works. Attack, 15 CP, increase one world potency, extend duration of debuff, success rate, not that interesting. And then 35 CP, increase cannon fire potency, mastered after one use. I believe that is fairly useful because you can ramp up faster with your Faris. Especially in this event, I feel like Faris takes a bit long to ramp up her skills. She kind of needs her 35 CP to be able to master her skills quick enough so she can actually do some real work. Now she also has increased potency of poison, attack down, defense down, extend duration to 8 turns, raised success rate, inflict small max bravery down for 8 turns, which is, you know, could be useful. Remove all buffs before inflicting debuffs when mastered. Now this is interesting because she basically gets a full buff dispel, which is really interesting. Remove all buffs before inflicting debuffs when mastered. That is really interesting. Is it the same on Japan? Yeah, like we have the same description there. And finally we can see her artifact passives. She's got, what do we have? Mighty Water Whirl, Mighty Cannon Fire. Man, why can't I read? Mighty Water Whirl and Mighty Cannon Fire. There we go. We got 10% bravery damage and 10% bravery damage, so that is good right there. And obviously we have the 2 ones here, which are probably not that great, but it's always good to know that you have these 2 good ones right here. Alright, so that was Faris. Let's check out Penelo real quick. So Penelo, she's got Grace, Haste, and Regen Walls. She's got medium speed, all party members, high action delay, both of them, and HP regen for 3 turns, all party members, 4 max uses. This looks really underwhelming, to be honest. I thought she had more, but there we go. That's pretty underwhelming, man. Her level 50 passive, let's see, slightly raised defense power and bravery is over 50%. Not that special. This one either. We got, obviously don't have her 35 CP unfortunately, so 15 CP, lower great haste, action delay, and extend medium speed up duration, grant small attack up to all allies for 4 turns, and her 5-star armor is not that special either. So great haste, action delay, and extend medium speed duration, grant small attack up to all allies for 4 turns. I guess the small attack up could be decent, so she might have some uses here and there, but overall she doesn't look that great. And she does have bravery, great haste, raise bravery by 10% of initial bravery. Now I don't think this one is good because it's 10% of your initial bravery, so that's gonna be very little, right? It's not gonna be a whole lot. Bravery, regen, raise bravery by 10, another initial bravery, so I think her passives are pretty bad looking by what we see here. So Penelo, she is pretty much a skip. She doesn't look appealing at all to me, to be honest. Faris, she is more decent, more decent at least compared to Penelo, especially with her 35 CP. And Yang, finally, he is pretty good on this event. As I said, he can do some AoE and clear the mobs, because you do have the boss and then the 2 mobs. So Yang, he's got the kick, 2 hit brave plus HP attack, and the splash damage to other targets, which is really nice. And he has the focus, which grants small max bravery up and small attack up for 3 turns. And then he can do the kick plus, which raises bravery by 1.3 before the attack, and he gets actually more splash damage to the other targets, which is really nice. And then this requires Cat Claw's passive, so Cat Claw passive is obviously the 35 CP, which we don't have in the game, so we don't really need to bother with this one. Let me see. Yeah, we don't even have it in global, right? We should just read on the global. It looks like he can go up to 6 and 5 uses. And then his level 50 passive grants low probability of countering brave attacks, which actually I don't know what this is. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not an expert on Yang. Grant low probability of countering brave attacks. Does that mean he doesn't attack back? I'm not exactly sure what this means. Japan? Oh wow, I'm gonna have to check out on that, but I've never really seen it mentioned before, so I guess it's not a big deal. At the end of the day, it's a low probability, so it probably doesn't affect the gameplay that much, but it's interesting to see kind of a new passive because I haven't seen such a passive before. And then his gear list, we got the increased kick potency and raised HP damage inflicted to non-focused targets, so more splash damage as we've seen. I guess he gets from the focus as well, 10% non-damage. Actually, this is kind of weird because on the global is potent melee plus HP, bravery, deal 10%, deal 10%. Doesn't actually say, which is kind of weird. But this one does increase the HP damage inflicted. This is the splash damage. And his black belt, he does get some attack there, which is nice. The HP, not that great, but there we go. And let's see the artifact passes. So he's got bravery focus. Again, initial bravery, not that great, but this one, damage dealt by kick, definitely this one is nice. So Yang, with his 15 CP, he is probably better than Faris 15 CP and Penelo 15 CP, to be honest. Because like he's got that bravery plus HP attack, which is really nice, and the AoE. And let's see. Now the thing is, these characters, as you can see right here, they are all level 50. However, they are getting level 60 fairly soon. I mean, Faris and Penelo, they're getting it like in 1 day or something. This is not updated yet because obviously it's not out yet. And we can see here, this is the list with characters that have level 60 and the characters that are going to get level 60. So these are the 6 characters that got level 60 last month. So in 1 day we're gonna get another batch of level 60s, and we have included Faris and Penelo in there, as well as 4 other characters such as Steiner. There is Lael as well, and 2 more, I forget who they are, but there we go. Now the problem is, look at this, here we can see the level 60s in order. So Warrior of Light, Furion and Cloud, they were the first to get their level 60s, right? So we have batches of 3, and then we're starting to see batches of 6. Or maybe we had a batch of 6 right from the beginning, I'm not exactly sure. And we might not see the same timeline in global, so we do not have that confirmed. We only have this information to go by. So if we follow the trend of Japan, Penelo and Faris, it's going to take a long time for them to get level 60. And why is that important? Well, it is important because without their level 60s, they're not going to be that great in the future, right? So let's see. Now, this evaluation list right here, the ranking in Altema, this is I have the new one, and then I have also saved one from March. So in here we can see Garnet, she just got her EX, she is getting boosted there. Lael, he got his level 60, but I don't think they are still testing them, right? It's not final, I don't think. It's like tentative here on Pop Limo. And let's see if we can find our characters here. So Faris, she got temporarily boosted to 86, but on the March evaluation list we can see that Faris, she was all the way down to 70 points. So Faris, you know, she's not gonna be that great for a while, so you need to consider that. So she does get better, but it might take a long time. Penelo, she's at 85 with her level 60. Well, at least for now. She might get better, who knows. But here she was at 61. So before her level 60, she was at 61. And then Yang, we can see him that he is at 75, and it doesn't look like he got to level 60, or did he? Because he's not changing. I don't think he's got his level 60, and here he was pretty much the same, 77, but obviously he dropped 2 points because of the power creep, so that's fine. So those are some things to consider, and yeah, for the most part I'd say that this banner is probably not worth it. I guess if you want to go for Faris and maybe Yang, Penelo, she doesn't really seem that attractive. She's one of the weaker supports, at least until she gets her level 60, which might not come in a while. Faris, obviously, she's probably gonna be nice if you get her 35 CP, but if you get her 15 CP, which is probably not gonna be that great, right? So, and again, these banners, they only have one 35 CP on the banner, so it's fairly hard to pull that 35 CP. You might need an upwards of 25k gems just to have a good shot at pulling that 35 CP. And Yang, obviously Yang, he is actually good. He's got that AoE. He is going to be decent. Still no 35 CP. He kind of needs that 35 CP, to be honest. So yeah, you might want to go for 15 CP Yang or 35 CP Faris, but that's about it. Me personally, I would still go for the Prish banner. So I am going to save up on this banner, and my Titus 35 CP, he's doing the job. But as usual, let's try and do some simulations. Now, we don't have this exact banner to do simulations on, because in Japan they had the 15 CP Faris instead of 35 CP. But we are going to use this Bart's 35 CP with Ida and Yuffie 15 CP. We can see we have the same distribution of weapons, 135 CP and 315 CP, and see if we can pull Faris. So let's go ahead, and we want to spend upwards to, or a maximum of 25k gems, and try and pull, in this case, Bart's 35 CP, which means, which would translate into 35 CP Faris. Okay, it looks like we're getting pretty bad luck. So 25k gems. Okay, so we did get it in 25 game gems. So if I would have went and pulled on this banner, I would have gotten Faris 35 CP in 25k gems and no 15 CP. That is not worth it in my opinion, not for Faris 35 CP. So there you go, guys. It's always nice to do these simulation gadget pulls, as you can really see how these banners work, right? Like the chances and everything. Chances are not great on these banners. I recommend waiting for the Ramza banner, and actually I should do a video on that one. I kind of want to do a video on the upcoming banners. So there you go, guys. Hopefully, I kind of was all over the place. Hopefully, I got my thoughts out there. But yeah, for this event, you probably don't want these characters. At the very least, no, or not at the very least, at most, you might want to pull 5k just to get one character for the event. But again, if you get Penelo, she's probably not gonna be that great, man. So I don't know. This banner is not very valuable. I would still go for Prish 35 CP if I needed it. If you have a 35 CP already, I'd say just use that one and probably just save for Ramza. But there you go, guys. We've been long enough, so let me know what you guys think. Maybe I missed something. If you have more questions, feel free to ask me, and you know, we can have a discussion. We can clear things out. But there you go, guys. We will be playing more Dissidia Opera Omnia at twitch.tv/MrPantaloons every day at 7 PM GMT. We'll be playing, you know, a little bit of the event, a little bit of this and that. We'll see how it goes. But there you go, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you on my next video. Have a good one and take care.